going to need to upload that, or you're going to get nasty emails from Chris saying you can't go because you didn't do it. So please make sure you do that. The emergency safety plan is part of that, getting you to think about all the eventualities, the different things, so that you're ready. I mean, one of the examples is on the emergency safety plan. It has the stuff about the credit card, right? So if you know how on the back of your credit card it tells you the number to call if it's stolen. Well, if it's stolen, how do you know that number? Right.
Bank of America.
You know, China. I mean, eventually you'd be able to get that number. Sure, if you can
Somebody else has the same card.
right, or you go find Wi-Fi or something like that. But it'd be much easier if you had it right at your fingertips, because who knows how fast that person's moving to start charging, and then you have to dispute all those charges and so on and so forth. So it's just helpful to have that information. You know, information about the embassy, emergency information. So it's at your fingertips. The information might change a little bit too, because while you're filling it out from this perspective, once you're there, you know, if you have a host institution or a host provider, they may say, well, no, this is actually the best one.
That's the part I was like lost about, like, because I think on some of them it asked like for people you're going with, like their information and who's the person you're gonna always be with. So I put like my lead instructor in that one. So some of the places, like what hotels you're staying at, we don't have that information.
Right, so that's something you can update once you get there.
Okay.
So bring it with you, and you don't need to, you know, have it in your bag, but you might want to have some of the more relevant information, or if you have like a journal with you, or something like that. You know, some of the key topics or the key pieces, or you can just fold it up and like stick it if you're always going to carry a bag with you or something like that. But yeah, it is kind of a work in progress, because when you get there, things might change, or you might get updated information. So. But it's really important to fill that out.
And I was reading on the state website, and then I was reading somewhere else. One place said to leave your passport in your safe in your hotel room, and one place said carry your passport on you at all times.
I had that question.
Okay.
So what do we do with our passports?
Okay.
Because I know you're supposed to make
No,
copies.
you do not want to keep your passport on you at all times.
Okay, so you don't want to do it. Okay.
No. The only times you would keep it if you were like for you. I mean, obviously you're moving from the next country.
So I gotta bring it with me with my stuff. But
yes.
I'm saying when I go out day to day, do I carry it?
No.
Okay.
Do we take the copy out with us?
You can. You can take a copy, but you don't want to take. There's no one who's going to be going like, can I see your papers, please? Like that's not.
In my mind, see, I was
No. That's not going to happen. Yes.
I was gonna just say that I think the only reason you would ever want to keep it on you at all times is if you're like backpacking through, like you're staying at hostels through Europe, and like you can't trust the places, like you're not staying.
Oh, you're saying that you don't
hotels.
think the safe
Yeah.
is safe.
Yeah,
basically.
like if you're staying at like official hotels, like legitimate hotels,
Right.
and you're just staying there a couple days, and yeah. But like my brothers backpacked through Europe, and they actually got the necklace that was.
Yes, we're going to talk about that.
That
But
was like
yeah,
a
if you're
wallet.
like staying in a hostel or something and you're sleeping and you're sharing a room with a whole bunch of people, yeah, you might want to put it in one of those little wallets and put it underneath your clothes.
Yeah. They
that
wore
type
it
of
while they slept, like it was around their neck.
Right,
So.
right. That type of thing. But you guys won't really be doing something like that. So keeping it in, unless you're traveling afterwards or whatever. But yeah, and if you were, like I know one of my friends, she went skiing and she was going to cross the border as she was skiing, so she kept it and she put it in the thing. But for all intents and purposes, you don't need to just, there's not going to be people asking you to show it. If you need some kind of ID to have it with you, you can bring your license that has your name on it. You can bring a copy, but you don't want to lose that. If your bag got stolen and you didn't really need your passport, you know, that you can get a new passport, and that's why we ask you for the copies of the passport, so we're a backup. But for passport, you want to have, you know, maybe have a copy with a family member at home. You give us a copy. We have it in a digital scan file, so if you lost your passport. And then, you know, you might want to have one or two other copies, but you put them in separate places. So you put one on the bottom of your suitcase and one somewhere else in case something gets stolen or your luggage doesn't come. It's not the only one. You had a question?
I just wanted to point out, I don't know what trip you're going on, but I know for the Russian trip last year, when they wanted to enter where they were living at the university, they had to have their passports on them. So,
Which they would have
like every day when they enter.
every day when they enter.
But that could just be like exclusively the Russian.
Yeah.
I'm not going to Russia, but
Yeah, that's pretty kind of, that's not a usual situation.
Right.
That's not a typical thing. And then if you knew you needed it, they would say, and that program leader would say,
Yeah, I feel
make
like
sure
you're-
you have it with you every day when you enter.
Right. I feel like your program leader will tell you. if you
Right,
need it.
right. Do you have anything to add on that, Maureen? Anything?
No, I mean,